Welcome to another edition of Sound Advice. And I just want to take 1 second just to say thank you. And I appreciate all the love that I've been getting for this channel. And we're just going to keep on going and keep moving strong. Keep putting out content that is useful and helpful for everyone out there. But in this edition of Sound Advice, we're going to dive into should we boost or should we cut? And that choice is up to you, whether to boost or to cut. But what I want to show is the purpose of why we may want to boost or why we may want to cut. When we're working on a project in our mix and we're using EQ. So, um, so I'm going to give basically two techniques, and this is help to design to help you in your workflow. Either one of these two techniques that you want to use in boosting or cutting. But like I said before, boosting and cutting, that's a decision you have to make. But I just want to show you some techniques in doing that. So without further ado, let's go ahead, jump into my DAW, and let's continue the conversation on boosting and cutting.
Okay, let's go over two techniques that I know of how to find good and bad frequencies. Mainly, the technique that I use is like a sweep technique, and trying to find bad frequencies, mainly bad frequencies, using the sweep technique. So let's do that and see what we can hear by sweeping. Okay.
Put love in a bag of dope in your grocery cart. In any universe, she'd still have given him her heart. They were always meant to be, and that's the truth.
Okay, so 335 hertz right here. Okay, doesn't sound good to me. And you see my Q is my Q is very very sharp, and so my bell is a very sharp bell, which is my Q. And I gained, I turned it up to 12, almost 13 dB, okay, to hear. So now that I have swept around, because a lot of buildup comes in your mid-range frequencies. And what you have to understand is that's where our hearing is most sensitive, is around that I'm just going to say, from 100 to maybe 6K. That's where our hearing is very sensitive. And as an engineer, that's where we have to balance out things, is in that mid range. Because when you think about it, when you hear any instrument, even our own voice, it's in the mid range. Our fundamental frequencies are in the mid range. And so we can get a lot of buildup in that mid range, and we have to clear some of that out. We don't want to clear all of that mid range out, because that's what we're used to hearing. And more of that mid range you take out, the more unnatural it sounds. But the more you leave, but when you leave some of the good mid-range frequencies in there, now it's pleasing sounding to the ear. Okay, so just to make that that point known. So I want to cut this frequency. So I'm going to listen to it again and see how much I need to take out.
You can hear him saying, woman, you can put that righteous mess on hold.
Okay, that's it right there. Negative 3.48. I took that out. Okay, so I don't need to take any more of that out because once again, it can get unnatural sounding. But that's what I do. I listen, take what I, start turning down. And as soon as I hear that difference, I stop right there. That's where I didn't hit it. Okay. Because I hear the clarity now. Okay. And that's what we're doing when we're EQing. Okay. Now, we can kind of enhance, a frequency that sounds pleasing. And we want to enhance that frequency a little bit. And normally that's going to be around 3K. Okay. Like 3K, 4K, the lower part of 4K, because that's where you can get some definition before you start getting into sibilants. Okay, so I can take my next band here and let's see what we can get. And I'm gonna leave it because I'm gonna boost and I want to get some. I don't want it that wide. Okay, about right there. And let's see what we can get.
'Cause I can stand up on my own. You can hear her pleading. Damn, now I was only trying to help. So you can go to hell. Put love in a bag of dope in your grocery cart.
Okay. That 3.60K sounded good. Okay. I'm affecting some of the frequencies around it, but I have a bump at 1.68 dB. I'm sorry, dB. So now let's just hear what we did.
'Cause I can stand up on my own. You can hear her pleading. Trying to help, so you can go to hell.
So what I was able to hear was how the vocals kind of cleared up a little bit. Okay, and I just made two moves. I made two moves. Then the vocals in the mix kind of cleared up a little bit. But this is just an example to showing you. All I'm doing is just showing you examples of trying to find frequencies. And this technique is called the sweep method. Some people don't like the sweep method. I do like the sweep method. Now, another thing that you could do is you could pick a frequency to boost or cut. Okay, so you could come here, click on it, and I'm gonna do 560, and I'm going to cut it negative 2.0 dB. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay, I want to boost 3K. Nah, shoot, it put me at 20K. Okay, I want to boost 3K, and I want to boost it 3 dB. Okay, and you just pick some numbers, and you see what, and then we can see what we got.
'Cause I can stand up on my own. You can hear her pleading. Dan, now I was only trying to help. So you can go to hell.
Okay, and still we was able to bring out some clarity. Now you may say, well, you brought clarity out at 360, and you were almost at 4K, bringing out some definition, and then you boost it more than you did the other frequency, on the frequency that you boost. Like what is that? And the explanation to that is there's no wrong way. There's no wrong way. Okay? From someone who takes out 560 and I take out 360, if that sounds good to that person, that's what they're going to take out. If 360 sounds good to me, that's what I'm going to take out. Okay? Now, it could be down the road because we done some other things that is be like, I got to go back and mess with my EQ chain again. I got in my chain, I got to go back and mess with my EQ because I'm hearing some different stuff now that I done added some other things, some other processing going on that has affected the signal. So now I got to look at my EQ. Okay. So, and for me, I'll let you in on a little secret. I use 2 EQs and depending on how I'm going to use it, because normally I try to use a 4-band. I don't try to use what we said, this was 7-band. I try to use a 4-band because I don't want to make a lot of moves. Okay, I want to just cut some frequencies, maybe boost some frequencies, and leave it alone. And then on my channel strip that has an EQ, I may, do another cut here or there, and then I'll leave it alone. Okay, so but these are the 2 main techniques that I know of how to find bad frequencies. And like I said, you can, it would probably be best to even invest in a EQ chart, and where you can look at the different instruments and see where their fundamentals are, because that's the main thing you don't want to mess with when you're doing this boosting and cutting. Okay, you want to have where the fundamental just because I didn't cut here and I done made a cut here, that the other fundamental frequencies I didn't have to mess with. It brung them out because of the cuts I made. Okay, now like in boosting sometimes, so I won't have to push that volume, my fader volume. I may be able to just use the 3K and just boost it a little bit for the definition, or I may need to do a little bit of piercing just so that the guitar may be able to poke through. Okay, so these are the kind of things that you think about when you're EQing in context with the mix. Okay, so just understand that either method you use is a good method to use. But like I said, the main thing is I would probably Google and try to find me an EQ chart with a lot of instruments on it so that you can see what the fundamental frequencies are, because that's what you want to bring out naturally with a cut here or a cut there, and you're bringing out the fundamentals. because that's the good frequencies. That's what we hear with our hearing, because like I said before, our hearing is very sensitive in the mid-range. And if you take too much of the mid-range out, you take too much of those fundamental frequencies out, now you're taking away how we naturally hear. And the listener is not going to be pleased with what they're hearing. They're going, that don't sound right automatically. Okay?
All right, welcome back. And I hope you enjoyed this part of EQing with a purpose and boosting and cutting. I hope these techniques that I showed you, that pick one of those, try them out. Try both of them and see which one fits you in your workflow. Okay, and that's what this is all about. It's not me trying to tell you this is definite, this is what you must do, and things like that. No, it's when it comes down to mixing, when it comes down to using the EQ, it's what your ears perceive and what you perceive as to being good when you do a boost or when you do a cut, that it sounds pleasing to your ears. And if it sounds pleasing to your ears, it's good. So just one other thing, just want to let you know about my website, which is called soundadvice4you.com. So if you would, please go out and check out my platform there. I have music that's free for downloads. I also provide a mixing and mastering service as well through the website. So if you find that you want to use my services, please feel free to fill out the form, and then we could get better acquainted about the song or the material that needs mixing and mastering on that. So that is soundadvice4you.com. And on that note, I'll see you on the next one.